Get cozy everybody, because we'll continue on with a game called Duskbound. Where were we? Here? I think we've already done confessing love. What about we ask about him instead? Can we skip? Yeah. Skip, no. Despite feeling confident earlier. Wait, can we skip? Oh no, we can't. Despite feeling confident earlier, I have lost my nerve. Thinking about how I compared him to the sun makes me feel like an imbecile. Oh, how I would love to confess, but I cannot do it yet. Why did he have to ask me so forthrightly? I look into his captivating amber eyes and take a sip of my tea. I can't bear to lie to him. All I can do is to avoid his inquiry by subtly changing the subject. Oh, but where are my manners? I haven't even introduced myself yet. My name is... Shush. Before I realize it, he put his finger to my lips. Our first touch, I can't suppress the faintest flutter of my heart. The chill of his cold skin lingers on my lips even when he moves his hand away. It's not important, not yet. I'll get to know you in many ways, and this one will be the last. I knew that there was something more to him from the first moment I saw him. My fascination with him is only heightened by these mysterious digressions. Very well, I'll oblige you. In return, will you tell me your name? Well, Virgilius de Lanceroy. Virgilius, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. He sheepishly nods his head. I let his name swish around the inside of my mouth like wine. It's pleasant. Have you been living in the city for long? Oh, so very long. Longer than I can be bothered to remember. Tell me, have you ever tried to leave? Me? Leave where to, I mean? Based on what I have heard, the journey past these city walls spells certain death for someone like me. I have tried. It's not the journey that is impossible, it's the very act of stepping outside the city walls. Some dark force wraps itself around me enough to make me stagger and suffer, but never enough to kill. So like you, I've been stuck here wanting nothing more than to leave, yet not knowing how. My eyes widen with curiosity. I've never heard of anyone who has tried to leave this place. We all resign ourselves to our hopeless fate and do nothing but pray to the one Lord that things will change, but they never do. Everything only falls into further disrepair. Yet still I cannot shake the small grain of hope that embeds itself in my heart. I want to know what he has found. I lift my cup to take another sip of my tea. But I feel myself growing hazy and my attention slips. I do hope the tea was to your liking. What are you gonna do, man? Muffled screams startle me awake, and I must desperately attempt to jolt up. I am met with a scaring ache that grips my entire body. Why are you doing this to me? I can't see anything. A cold sweat runs down my back, and my breath hitches in my throat. My head swirls with questions as my situation sinks in. What happened? Where is he? How could he do this to me? I try to sit up more slowly this time. Only then do I sense the presence of a tightly yanked chain around my ankle. It allows for minimal movement, keeping me tethered to this wretched place. My eyes adjust as I feel my way around the room, hands moving against peeling wallpaper, gripping on fabric and accidentally knocking against wood. It's no dark, dank attic. It appears to be a fairly well-maintained guest bedroom. Oh, or perhaps it used to be someone else's, a melancholy thought. Well, oh, you're finally awake. I gasped involuntarily at the sight of him. Don't be afraid, dear pale one, I would never hurt you. The sound of muffled screaming fills the air once more and I recoil. What are those sounds, and whose blood is that? He wipes the blood from his face and licks his finger in a smooth, practiced gesture as he draws closer to me. Up close and under dim lighting, I notice an almost otherworldly glow in his golden eyes. The faint scent emanating from him is nostalgic and somehow intoxicating. It's making my head spin. You must have heard the tales. Perhaps you dismiss them as all nonsense, but the red plague isn't always fatal. Those of us unfortunate enough to survive it are changed forever. It is blood and blood alone that sustains us. You're a vampire. My breath gets more erratic as his face inches closer. Do I frighten you? I avert my eyes and look at the floor. I want to say that he does. Of course he does. Yet despite that, something inside me still finds him beautiful. It's the vampire instincts. I think they have built-in aphrodisiac or something. I don't know. As I ponder my response, my red eyes hover over to the chain around my ankle. Could my judgment be clouded by his golden eyes and silver tongue? I yanked on the chain and mustered the courage to look at him. "Remove this chain immediately." "Of course. If you promise to stay by my side, then I would be more than happy to do so." "Of course, there's no way I can promise that." I know. I cannot ask that of you. That's precisely why the chain is necessary. Though it is charming that you could not even think to deceive me." He softly passed my head and I instinctively backed away from his touch. "Apologies, I didn't mean to condescend. Please pretend it didn't occur." "Why did you do this to me?" "I suppose by now there is nothing left but to be direct about my intentions. Dearest Pale One, won't you grant me some of your blood?" Refuse? It's like there's no other choice. "He wants my blood?" "Absolutely not. Who knows what will happen to me? I might even contract the Red Plague myself." "There has to be a way out of here." As I contemplate the means of my escape, he takes my silence as an answer and sighs. "Just please consider it for the both of us. I'll leave you be for now. Besides, I need to finish what I started." "Finish what he started?" "You wouldn't hurt me, would you?" "I'm sorry that it has to come to this, chaining you to this room, but I promise I would never treat you badly." "I need you. Please make yourself at home. This room is yours to do with as you please." As he starts to walk away again, I follow him for as far as my chain allows. Why am I doing this? Why do I yearn for him? I thought I was scared, but I don't know what to think anymore. Logic seeps through my fingers as my heart bounds after him. Standing in the doorframe, he turns around. "For you to approach me this time. The fates have aligned, I'm sure, and for that I am grateful. Thank you, my dear Pale One." Suffocating loneliness envelops the dreary room once more. I make my way back to the meticulously made bed and slump down. Could I have known this would happen? What am I going to do? What can I do? The screams I heard in the distance grow louder and louder until they eventually stop, leaving in their wake a deafening silence more oppressive than their noise ever was. "Good morning, dear Pale One. Will you offer me your blood today?" Save. Refuse. "Very well then, I will see you again tomorrow." "Good morning, dear Pale. I hope you slept well. Will you offer me your blood today?" Refuse. "Tomorrow awaits us then." The day passed by quietly. As promised, he does not treat me badly. There is food to eat, and he even brings me books to read. Every day, like clockwork, he asks me for my blood, and every day I refuse. We have amicable conversations some days, but I no longer care to learn anything about him. How wrong I was to assume so many things about him from seeing his smiling face in the crowd. All I want is to leave this place. That empty life I wanted to escape has become my dearest dream. I wonder if my sister misses me. It must be hard running the workshop all by herself. I even miss the mending of the same workman's clothes. Who would have ever imagined that? If only I'd told someone about my plan to meet him, then maybe I wouldn't have ended up in this situation. "Have you finished your breakfast?" "I have. It was delicious. Thank you so much. I have slowly crafted my cordial facade. I think I'm pretty convincing." "I'm glad to hear that. Now you know what I will ask, don't you? Although I have enjoyed our peaceful days, I am not sure how much longer I can endure." "What do you mean?" "Your blood, Pale One. I am ravenous, and your innocent smile only beckons me closer. Let me in, won't you? I'll make sure it won't hurt. In fact, I think it might make you feel good." "Will it really?" As I stare at him with an unsure expression, he slowly inches towards me. "These are the circumstances I've been waiting for. This is my only chance." I know where he keeps the key. I have seen it. He pulls me into his arms and I no longer resist. "Calm down, breathe, wait until the very last moment." I shake my sleeve and catch the breakfast knife in my hand, and without hesitation I drive it into his neck. His eyes turn wide and he parts his lips in shock. Then he looks at me with downcast eyes and frowns. So this is how it will end this time." His grip on me loosens and I push him off me. He falls with a thud, blood pouring from his mouth. "I have done it. I look at the blood on my hands that splatters across my chest. I killed him. It went all bad. It all went by too fast. I feel sick. I hold on to a nearby bedpost to hold myself up. I killed him. My heart is beating in my eardrums. I cannot believe it worked. I expected more resistance, but it seems he's resigned to his fate. Somehow I choke up, struggling to breathe. Now why am I feeling this pity? He's chained me here against my will. He deserves no pity. I have to get out. I cannot breathe in here. With trembling hands, he scrambled for the key in his breast pocket and stormed out of his mansion without looking back. Okay, now what? As I go to sleep that night, I dream of him. There he is, staring at me with desolate eyes, not saying a word. He doesn't have to. My guilt festers under his watchful gaze all the same. 4 nights after that, I can't escape his haunting face. I'd wake up in a cold sweat, wondering if I had done the right thing. Other nights, when the fates feel kind, I dream of being in his arms. We discuss a book I recently read, or what we should have for lunch tomorrow. As I wake up from dreams of what could have been, I find tears streaming down my face. Whether dream or nightmare, they eventually start to bleed into my waking life. The lines are blur as if to say this cannot end here. And somewhere I know this is not ended here. End 4. Okay. Okay. Now what? Load. Whatever, keep quiet. I don't want to pry into his affairs. Everyone in the city has a past. It's rarely something enjoyable to talk about. There's none whom the Red Plague hasn't affected. The eternal night fell on all of us, and as much as anyone might try to deny it, it took something from us. We make do with what we have left, and it's not up to me to open up those wounds again. Besides, I am a guest. It would be rude of me to pester him with intrusive questions, but we've only just been properly acquainted. Can I skip? Looks like it. Next up, confess your love. Skip. But my heart pounds against my chest. I feel relieved. Yada yada, no matter what comes next. Truly, you mean it? The anomaly I've been waiting for is finally here? When I pick up my teacup to calm my quaking nerves, he leaps up from his seat. Wait, don't drink that. He knocks the teacup out of my hand, shattering it onto the floor. One of the shards embeds itself into my wrist, and bright red blood swells up. What has gotten into him? I flinched as I pulled the porcelain shard out of my wound. And in the blink of an eye, he is beside me. Very close beside me. He takes no heed of the teacup's remains or its contents spill on the floor, his gaze fixed intently on the cut. His lips press against my wound as if driven by an overwhelming compulsion. What? Stop it, what are you doing? Don't resist. I shudder as he runs his tongue along the blood trailing down my hand, his eyes locking into mine. You said it yourself, you feel this bond between us as well as I do. So allow me. Then his fangs penetrate my skin deeper than the porcelain shard ever did. Tears prick at the corners of my eyes as the pain radiates from my wrist. But why? Why am I crying? Isn't this what I wanted? Ow, stop, it hurts. I just can't help it. Goodness, why did you have to go and hurt yourself? Don't worry, I'll make it feel good soon. An unprecedented and exhilarating pleasure soon starts to mix into the pain surging through me. Heat rises to my cheeks and I cannot find the strength nor the will to stop him. Such a feeling must be unnatural. Then why? Why am I not stopping him? Pale One, stay by my side. I'm frozen in place as he moves on top of me, sinking his face into my neck and alternating his bites with the gentlest of kisses in the same spots. Tears pull in my eyes and blur in my vision. They flow uncontrollably, but I can no longer tell if they are of sorrow or bliss. This intoxicating feeling fills up every corner of my mind, overwhelming my senses until I cannot even think straight. There's so much blood. If this goes on, then I'll... Stop, I can't even muster words, and he seems too enraptured to notice, lapping up what blood he can. Is this it? An observer in my own body, I lay motionless until even my heartbeat stills. Dearest? Pale One, you... No, answer me. No, wait. Why? What have I done? This dreaded curse. Okay. Does anybody still follow what's happening? I don't. Next up, same as ending 4, but asking questions instead of refusing in the last 2 menus. Okay, ask what will happen if you say no. If I refuse, will you take more innocent people's lives only to prolong your own? You misunderstand, they're not people. Surely you have realized it by now. Hey, here where darkness reigns and emptiness echoes, we are the only survivors. They're lost to the cycle, Pale One. They trudge on, possessed by something akin to instinct, but there's no soul left within. Okay. So people are just habitual doing things that they're used to do, but they're not really people. I find myself at a loss of words. I cannot deny that I have thought the same thing he has, but it isn't right to reduce humans to nothing so easily. How can we know what goes on in their minds? How can you be so sure? Is it not mere arrogance to put yourself above everyone else like that? I am entirely certain, Pale One, if we have walked through the same streets, come across the same husk, then we both bear witness to that fact. But it's just like you to still think of them as human, as beings that still have hopes and dreams. I am glad to see you still have that infectious optimism. It warms my heart. Good morning, dear Pale One. I hope you slept well. Ask him about questions instead of refusing the last two. Okay. I hope you slept well. Will you offer me your blood today? Ask why he wants your blood. I could tell you the answer, but you would not believe me. You never do. Promise to believe him. Then I promise to believe you. That's not an easy promise to keep. Tell me, Pale One, would you want to save the city if you could? To put an end to the eternal night? If you could bring things back to how they were, then surely that would be better. But you've tried so many things, it's not impossible to solve a problem if you don't know the cause. Haha. Taken aback as he laughs almost mockingly, although there is no amusement in his eyes. You know of the cause? Yes, the cause. Of course I would know it, because I am the cause. This is my dreadful curse, Pale One. It's only saving grace the way it binds me to you. He glances out the window towards the red moon. You did promise to believe me this time. Please help me understand you. Help me understand this curse. Yeah, I don't get it. He closes his eyes and takes a moment to think of what to say, then looks at me with conviction. The flow of time is distorted in this place, which is why we cannot leave. We live in a pocket of the world governed by its own laws. Time falls and loops in on itself over and over and over again. It's not something the human mind was made to bear. With every passing recurrence, another loses their identity completely. I am the only one who is forced to remember it all, not allowed the luxury of forgetting. I am but a prisoner of my own memories. What he's saying is hard to swallow. It's a lot, and I don't know how any of it could make sense, but I am determined to keep my promise. I've seen what he describes. No one is themselves anymore. Perhaps they are nothing more than husks after all. So you've lived through all of this, only to see the world move further and further from its proper state? He gives a curt nod. I would like to believe that things do get better, that this city will be saved one day, but that hope is becoming increasingly difficult to hold on to. The more I ponder it, the more it feels like a lost cause. I mean, what is the point of dousing a house that has already turned to ash? Even if we were to lift this curse, what is left to rise from its shadow? But you're the only constant. Your pure soul is enough to withstand the weight of time piling up. His soft smile takes on a different meaning to me now. He must have lived in the loneliest of worlds. If all he lives through isn't real to anyone else, then how could anyone else feel real to him? I've tried to approach you countless times, but somehow we are fated to end each other. Then time rearranges without a care, and I am the only one who remembers what we've been through. In recent cycles I have kept my distance, for it hurts more to be with you than to simply watch from afar. That way I thought I could be content seeing you about your day, seeing you alive and untainted by my deeds. And me, I am nothing but a shadow of the man I once was. I too have lost myself, though not like the others. Their fate might be merciful compared to mine. This fiendish lust for blood has only intensified and makes me ashamed of myself. I grasp shaking hand in mine, overcome with the desire to ease his suffering. The font style really hurts the eyes. Who would ever make up such a story as this? Why only tell me now? I am holding on to my promise in the deepest recesses of my heart. And that means discarding any doubt. Have you told me all of this many times before? It must not be easy to stay kind and patient when all your actions are brought to naught time and again, and no one else remembers any of it the next day. I have tried to tell you many a time, but without the right lead-up, it is doomed to fail. You might run from me or retaliate in violence. Sometimes you make fun of me, other times you grow frightened. I've seen almost every face you can make. But this kind of occurrence is rare. You look at me with kindness is many ways my greatest relief. But it's not new. It has happened before a handful of times. Those loops are the most painful. I grew attached to you only to lose you. That fated loss has not been overturned. So this time too I'll resist the temptation to hope. My finger traces the lines on his palm as he speaks. He does not stir, so he must not mind. All I can do is listen in awe and hope that my warmth reaches him. But am I being unfair? I'm only manipulating you by telling you one side of this tale. Pale one, my dearest. Inside of me another impulse tugs at my sanity. I can feel that unwavering need crawling under my skin, begging to be sated. I wish not only to have you for myself, more than anything, I wish to ruin you. Knowing your inevitable final destination, why not let me be merciful and end you myself, knowing that it is out of love? Seeing you twist up and contort in pain, or letting you submit to the wiles of something primal and terrible, crushing the one good thing left in this miserable nightmare. I know that it is all temporary, so why bother with decency anymore? Nothing means anything and shame ceases to exist. It's no more real than a fairy tale to anyone but me. My downfall is mine alone to witness. As he speaks, he grips my hands tightly. His nails dig into my skin, but not enough to draw blood. I call your bluff. You're testing me. You're trying to scare me off before you find yourself actually caring again. Come on, dude. None of this is a bluff, dear pale one. It is all true. If you could see the fates I put you through, I recall the things I made you feel, you would not want me anywhere near you. You would loathe me. You're holding back even now, aren't you? Otherwise, you would have forcefully taken my blood. Your dedication is admirable. And if it matters to you so much, show me those faces then. I want to remember. If we're the only ones who will live through this tragedy, then I want to be there for all of it. Haha. My beautiful innocent pale one. Why, I have yet to answer your question. In order to end the cycle of terror, I need your blood, for only yours can purify my curse. Yeah, I've tried. So it's all your fault, and somehow her blood is the cure, yeah. I've tried to get it forcefully, but it never works. You lose your purity. Indeed, you must offer me your blood without coercion, in faith and innocence. Then and only then will the curse lift and eternal night end. And everything will return to how it once was? I am afraid I cannot answer that, as I have never gotten to that point. We would have to wait and see. However, I do not believe the damage wrought can be undone. Those whose minds have been ground to dust will likely collapse physically as well. In fact, I do not know the effects of introducing a regular flow of time to those who have been in a closed loop for so long. Then isn't it dangerous? What about you or me? A vampire cannot live to face the sun, right? What kind of life would you even lead? Would you believe me if I said I hadn't thought about it? This whole time I have been working towards an empty goal. I do not know what lies beyond it, but I have nothing else to try. That's not the right way for anyone to live. There has to be some point to all of this madness. How do you even know that this is the only solution? He told me. The one who orchestrated this ordeal. Before he left, he told me that you were the key to all of this. I didn't understand the significance of any of it at the time. In fact, I didn't even realize what had happened. And here I thought that this was all your fault. Heh. He laughs humorously again, but I am a villain all the same. Aren't you playing right into his head by following his command? Don't you want to defy the one who took everything from you? I know that expression. It's one I used to wear. Of course, by the time I realized the inescapable gravity of my fate, I was furious. My rage was an unquenchable flame. But time dulls all senses, and there is no direction for this feeling. I took it out on you many times, but that only made me feel worse with each passing loop. Of course, who knows how long it has been for him. Perhaps he himself can no longer keep track. The feelings of someone who might as well be an outsider hearing this for the first time I can't begin to compare. I don't think it's right, any of this. His acceptance of his role of some great evil is saddening. I won't have it. But what can we begin to do? We couldn't possibly care about lifting the city's burden. Now that I've told you all this, it might be enough for me. It feels like some weight has been lifted off my shoulders. You truly are skilled at keeping your promises. It is but one of my many talents. Surely through all this time, you must have seen them in action. For example, fearlessly going through with plans anyone else would have deemed too absurd to attempt, such as ending up on my doorstep without having spoken a single word to me before. Maybe. What on earth were your intentions? Don't make fun of me. How could I ever? I came to confess my love. You don't leave me speechless too often anymore. It'll be quite a shame when I have to part from you this time. Who says we have to? Oh, you would grace us with even more absurd plans? We can be tied together for all eternity by forgetting about this tragedy and denying the mastermind the payoff he's waiting for. I pull him towards me and with my mouth close to his ear, I speak in a hushed voice. I know that the tales they tell. For once we can make this red plague our blessing. Let me have your blood instead, to become what you are and to stay here by your side forever. Huh, okay. You don't know what you're saying. You will throw everything away for me? That is what I came here to do in the first place. In fact, what do you believe I am throwing away? There's nothing here, nothing left, not for me nor for you. I have tried to take control of my destiny many times. I've kept my distance in hopes it would afford you peace. I have lost hope entirely. God damn it, I hate reading this. The font style really hurts the eyes. Oh god damn it. Ah, god. I'm just closing my eyes, just resting it up. Oh god damn it, fucking. Okay. Fuck this font style. God damn it. But I suppose I may have tried submitting to her will. What do we stand to lose? Less than we stand to gain. Wait, what? She also has fangs, right? The sensation of sinking your teeth into someone's neck is a strange one. It takes a lot of determination to pierce the skin to muster the courage to follow through. I have never been one to hurt others, but I know that this pain I inflict is entirely desired, and based on his reaction, I dare say it is somewhat pleasurable. It makes me happy. I never knew how good it would feel. And the taste of his blood is nostalgic. Virgilius, huh? Will you be mine? Always was, dear pale one. Always was. And 5, embracing the night. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're done. Or is it? Restart the game to unlock another loop. Fine. Like to see content warnings? No. There is no light in the city. Skip. A good day, can I help you? I don't believe we've met. Please come in, it's quite chilly out here. I can prepare you some tea to warm you up. That sounds... wait. That cannot be true. I do know him. His name is Virgilius de Lancerole. I clutch my head and wince. In the midst of the pain, I can feel something tugging at my recesses of my mind, forcing distant, unfamiliar scenes back to the surface. This eternal night exists because we cannot fulfill our roles without one another. You understand, don't you? Your purity is mine and mine alone to corrupt. Corrupt me then, I won't protest. I'll make sure to savor it slowly. Excuse me, are you alright? I'm fine. I have tried to take control of my destiny many times. I've kept my distance in hopes it would afford you peace. I have lost hope entirely. But I suppose I have never tried submitting to your will. What do we stand to lose? Less than we stand to gain. You seem unwell. Please come in and have a seat. Might I offer you some tea? Nope. The memories flood my mind as I sit down on this now familiar sofa, and I can't hold back my tears. He comes in with his platter of tea. I know that tea so well. I wonder if he has laced it with sedatives this time. If it's alright for me to pry, will you tell me what's on your mind? I carelessly wipe my tears with my sleeve. What an unsightly display, though I suppose he has already seen me worse than this. Virgilius, my fated one. Have I told you my name? No, you haven't. Not this time, at least. An inaudible gasp escapes his lips. He drops everything he is holding, struggling to keep himself upright. He stumbles towards me and grabs my shoulders, the light within his eyes brighter than ever. Pale one, is it really true? Shush. Put my finger into his mouth. Be funny if her finger slipped and put it in his nostril instead. My name is... what? So you want me to say, Forte? Sure. My name is Forte. Kisses my finger still pressed to his lip. Forte. I have decided it does not matter whose will we follow inadvertently. We deserve to carve out our own happiness. I'm going to have faith in the future. We can break out of this cage. You may have grown indifferent, but I cannot forgive the one who did this to us. Let's travel beyond this night, beyond this city. I want to laugh in the face of evil and give back all that we received. And after we have put things right, I believe we can find a place for us to belong. I extend my hand towards him. Will you join me? Oh, I do want to see the look on his face. This must have been outside the scope of his machinations. Forte, I cannot promise you normalcy. I cannot promise you anything at all. I do not have the same fate as you have. The damage has already been done. I am not the man that I used to be, and I will never be him again. Of course, but promises are my talent. Let me have my niche. Come on, how long do I have to stand here like this? He finally grasped my hand in both of his. I'll follow your lead then, Forte. It won't be easy, you know. There's no going back. If you agree to it now, I won't let you change your mind later. His soft hand reaches towards my face, lifting up my chin to allow our eyes to meet. Forte, might I have your blood? With pleasure. Wait, that's not where you go to blood. Okay. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't the gentle warmth of his lips upon mine. He kisses me softly, almost uncertainly at first. Then he bites it to my lip, and that familiar hot red rush washes over me more sweetly than ever before. A paroxysm 1,000 timelines in the waiting. I don't know how to pronounce that word. We will meet a new morning, a morning that is truly ours. The future is an uncertain and terrifying place. We grow comfortable with our inevitable misery more easily than we would like to admit. Sometimes the devil you know is better than even the ray of light you don't. Darkness cannot comprehend light, and despair cannot comprehend hope. To break the cycle, we need to jump that chasm even when we cannot see the other side. At the end of the eternal night, what awaits us? I do not know, but I can't wait to find out. Wait, that's it? Really? Return to earlier route. Huh. Okay, so that's how it is then, I suppose. CG Gallery. There you go. Boop. Boop. Cool. So yeah, we're done with everything. I guess did someone break out of the loop, or maybe it's just an open ending. Maybe they go back again to the start. But hey, at least they're happy. So about this game, it reminds me of how do I say it? The melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. You know, the Endless Eight. It was so frustrating to watch that that Endless Eight. Like, oh god, this again. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Like, I'm glad I read it, but I don't want to read it again. This game, like, there are some parts it just goes on and on. Sometimes it just, yeah, they talk too much. Yeah, it's a visual novel. I'm expecting more visuals. But hey, it is. I'm glad I read it though. I'm glad that I read it. I'm glad that I experienced the story. So basically, the Red Curse, whatever, is they're stuck in this infinite time loop. Everyone else is just some kind of zombie head, whatever. And the only way to cure them is them being zombies or whatever. Yeah. Okay. I guess the only thing I don't like about this game is that sometimes it just drags on, and I don't like that. Other than that, I like it. Yay, we did it. I like it. For the most part. It's not the worst thing I've read. If you want to see the worst things I've read, it's called the Let's Endure or Watch Me Play Corpse Party. Wow, those are terrible. So yeah, this is good. This is a good visual novel. It just drags on. Some parts just drags on for a while. It's kind of like the font style is so fucking horrific to the eyes. I just want to close my eyes forever. Like, oh shit, this hurts the head so much. Anyway, if you want to try to get it for yourselves, the links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.